Okay guys, I want you to finish that acceleration worksheet, but I want you to know how to do it. So we're going to start with this video called Acceleration How To. We're going to start with our formula. Our formula for acceleration is the change in velocity or speed, right? Remember, velocity has direction, over time. Now, change in velocity is something we haven't talked about before. So change in velocity, which is shown as a little triangle, V, means velocity final minus velocity initial. Shh. Please don't. I'm trying to make this video for my students. So final minus initial. When we do our final minus initial, we could have a positive number if we're speeding up or a negative number if we're slowing down. Okay, so acceleration can be positive or negative. Now, let's say that we're going to solve for acceleration, right? So our first one is going to be solving for acceleration. So A equals delta V divided by T. We're going to say my car was going 20 miles per hour and I sped up to 40 miles per hour in we'll say 3 seconds. Now, on these, I'm not going to make you convert. If you just make sure that your unit is in the right system. So I'm going to plug my numbers in. Change in velocity is final. What speed did I end up getting to? That's this one. So this is my final. This is where I started. That's my initial. So 40 minus 20 divided by 3. 40 minus 20 is 20 divided by 3. What is 20 divided by 3? Well, if you don't know, you can always get out your calculator. So my calculator says 20 divided by 3. Okay, I just type it in. Right there. Is 6.666666666. That's a lot of sixes. We don't have to write that many. Let's just write 6.7. And my units are going to be miles per hour seconds. Got to keep it all. Okay. Let's try another one. Let's say we're going to be solving for time. Now, we did this when we did our speed calculations. Remember, solving for time. You can't leave time in the denominator. So acceleration still equals delta V over T. To solve for time, I have to multiply by time on both sides to get rid of it. That gives me TA equals delta V. But then I'm going to have to divide by A on both sides so that I can get time by itself. So to solve for time, time is the change in velocity over acceleration. So let's say an airplane was accelerating at 300 meters per second. And it started at 0. It started still. 0 meters per second velocity means it started at rest. And it got to go 3,000 meters per second. So that's my final. Final minus initial, 3,000 minus 0 is still 3,000. Divided by 300 gives me 10. It took 10 seconds for that plane to accelerate that much. Okay?
Okay.
Now let's do one more. Solving for final velocity. The top of your worksheet has all these equations for you already, okay? So, solving for final velocity. Acceleration is the change in velocity over time. But remember, change in velocity is final minus initial over time. This time I want to get VF by itself. Okay, so I have to multiply by time on both sides. That gives me T times A equals VF minus VI. To get rid of VI, it's being subtracted. The opposite of subtraction is to add VI on both sides. So my formula for final velocity is final velocity equals acceleration times time plus initial velocity. So using this formula, now we will solve a problem. What's the final velocity of a baseball that started at rest and took 2.2 seconds to accelerate at 75 meters per second squared, where acceleration has 2 times in the bottom. Okay? It was traveling. Nope, we're good. Okay. So if I started at rest, that means my initial velocity is 0 meters per second. I have my time and my acceleration. So final velocity equals acceleration 75 times time 2.2 plus 0. So plus 0 we don't have to really do, right? And so all we have to do is 75 times 2.2 is 165 meters per second. Okay, so now I want you to try. So get out your worksheet from Friday and finish those acceleration problems and turn them into the sub. Please say I was recording this the whole time. Don't know if it did. That's nice. Oh. What do you need, Renee? Miss Vaughn might have it, but I do not. Yes. We're making sub-plans.
My dentist appointment. She's like right next to you, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. What are you doing? I hit start recording.